Today we are going to be looking at a certain issue going on in Cameroon. And the first of it is the issue of Atanga Nji with non-governmental organization, political parties, and a religious body in Cameroon. He came recently, that is today, talking about 2025 and giving serious warning to opposition party leaders, non-governmental organization, and religious body concerning any political instability that will maybe they are planning in Cameroon come 2025. That they have gathered, his ministry have gathered a lot of evidence against non-governmental organizations and political parties who are planning to do something in Cameroon comes 2025. And then he called all of them to stay clear and stay away from any malicious actions or anything they are planning in 2025, that the government will not take it lightly. That is Mr. Atanga Nji. So the government of President Paul Biya is having some kind of fear that we cannot really picture it at this point, but they are already feeling it because the way they are preparing for 2025 and the way they are calling on Cameroonians to remain peaceful in 2025, meaning they have seen something that might happen in Cameroon in 2025, because we heard the president of the National Assembly saying, Kabaye Jege when he was doing the opening session of the November session of Parliament, he talked about peace, praying for peace for 2025. And when he was giving his a final speech, he also talked about peace for 2025. And then the first vice president of the Senate also talked about peace in 2025, calling on Cameroonians to be peaceful in 2025. And throughout this period, we have seen Mr. Atanga Nji, that is the Minister of Territorial Administration, struggling by all possible means to put things right for peace to be in 2025. Now he is saying that they have gathered enough evidence against some non-governmental organizations, political parties, and religious bodies that are struggling to create some kind of political instability in Cameroon in 2025, and calling them that they should not do it because the way the government of Cameroon will react, they will not like it. So it is. He may mention about the 2025 presidential election, and then I'm reading from here at Quartet. He said the conditions for participating in a presidential election are clearly defined by the applicable laws. One can be nominated by a political party, yes, or run as an independent candidate, provided certain obligations are met. Some are treated their participation in the 2025 presidential election as a matter of life or death. This is president. This is the Minister of Territorial Administration talking here. So holding on to, and then we already know the political party he is talking about. They are treating the presidential election, 2025 presidential election, as if it is a matter of life or death. That if they don't run, they are going to die. And we know that when he was talking about some political parties already planning to destabilize Cameroon come 2025, we already know those. We know those political parties, but we don't want to mention any name here. But the whole issue we are talking about is calling on the government of Cameroon to look at the root causes of what is boiling in Cameroon, because Cameroon is boiling presently. That if care is not taken, Cameroon can explode at any time. That it should focus on those root causes, not targeting political parties, non-governmental organizations, and religious body or individuals. The individual might be participating or planning something. Political party might be planning something. But why are they planning it? If Cameroon was okay, the kind of energy Mr. Atanga Nji is putting in place, if he was putting that energy to do his work for Cameroonians, not to please President Paul Biya, Cameroon could have been a better place. Because I believe those that have to be called to order here are the government officials. They are the main problem in Cameroon. If we are talking about root causes of all the problems in Cameroon, we are talking about the government of President Paul Biya. The government of President Paul Biya is the main reason why Cameroon is what it is today. Not non-governmental organization, not opposition parties, not a religious body. As Mr. Atanga Nji is already targeting them and saying that they have enough evidence against them. Cameroonians are having enough evidence against the government of President Paul Biya. What are you people doing about it? The government that has been in power for 42 years. But there is nothing to show in Cameroon. There is nothing, no road in Cameroon, no electricity, no drinkable water. But opposition parties are not the ones stopping the government not to provide drinkable water. Opposition parties are not the ones stopping the government not to extend electricity to other places. Non-governmental organizations are not the one stopping the government. So struggling and putting or threatening people and warning people for 2025 cannot work. But if the government of President Paul Biya can sit up and adjust on certain things within the government, it will be okay. The next thing that I'm going to quote from what he says is, he says, those who will not be able to participate in the 2025 presidential election will still have the opportunity to do so in 2032. So if you will not have an opportunity to take part in the upcoming presidential election 2025, wait for 2032. Then you will do it, provided they organize themselves. That is, there's still the quotation I'm reading from what Mr. Atanga Nji came out with. Provided they organize themselves, meaning if they don't organize themselves, the government will not give them the opportunity to do it. Meaning Atanga Nji is already indirectly telling us that the CPTM will still be in power come 2025. Yeah, one must face adversity with a good spirit to avoid unpleasant surprises, as the measure for maintaining order will be strictly enforced. Now, this last part is where I keep on preaching about here on TFA Talking Point, that the government of President Paul Biya depends on the military and the police, who are mostly common people, to fight the common people. So if this police and this military can group themselves together and say, we are not benefiting from the national cake the way ministers and top government officials are benefiting from it. So we have to support our brothers who are suffering just like us. Then the government will be powerless and they will surrender. That is the only way. President Paul Biya, I keep mentioning, President Paul Biya is not powerful. President Paul Biya, as he is now, 92 years, cannot fight anybody in Cameroon, even a little child of 5 years. But President Paul Biya, because of the help that this common police and the military are giving him, that is why President Paul Biya is more powerful. He will sit at the presidency. He has never gone to southern Cameroon, but he is giving order, and people are being killed in southern Cameroon. And he is giving the order not to top military officials, but he is giving the order to top military officers, and they transfer the order to the common police and the military. And they are the one suffering. They are the one dying. So the main problem that we are having in Cameroon, first, are these our brothers and sisters who joined the military in order to protect us from any harm. The police who joined the police corps in order to help us peace and order in the society. But the government of President Paul Biya, because of corruption, they are using them against the common man. This is the bridge. These are the people standing in between. They believe that they are existing because of President Paul Biya. But I'm telling them that they are existing or even living and receiving salary every month because of the common people. Because the common people are the one paying them, the military, and even paying the President Paul Biya himself with the taxpayer money. That is why I presented a video in the afternoon talking about the issue that the government of Cameroon is in it now. They are owning the International Monetary Fund. They are amongst the top 10 African countries owning the International Monetary Fund. And the International Monetary Fund is on their neck like this. There is no way the government of President Bobia is breathing. So they are looking for any opportunity to take money to balance this. But they refuse to cut government expenditure. They are still living luxurious life. They are still buying private vehicles. A convoy is still very long. They are not paying their rent. They are not paying bills. They are the one receiving the highest salaries in Cameroon, but they are not paying for anything. They are enjoying everything for free. What common Cameroonians are paying for, the government, the officials in Cameroon are taking it for free. And adding to that, they are taking our land. Why they spend all this year, they search for all fertile land all over Cameroon, bought them, and leaving Cameroonians with nothing. So this is the issue here. I am calling first that the only way that this CPTM regime in Cameroon can maybe go out of power is for our brothers who are in the police and the military to support the common people to end this suffering in Cameroon. That is the only way. Because if come 2025, maybe all this non-governmental organization Atanga Nji is talking about, or opposition party he is talking about, or religious body he is talking about that are planning to do something in Cameroon, if comes 2025, then they call and say, police, go and do this, they refuse. Military, go and do this, they refuse. What will they do? Atanga Nji cannot go out. Minister will not go out. All of them will surrender. But because our brothers are there, because they have been brainwashed, they selected, because the government of Cameroon is selecting most of these police. That is why I keep on saying that 85% of police or military in Cameroon are mostly frustrated Cameroon. Let me just put that word. I'm not insulting them. Are people, some of them are notorious criminals that the government just put them within there so that they can be manipulating and using them. It's such as if during their training, there's something that they usually give some group of them, because there are some responsible police officer and military in Cameroon. But majority are people that they can do and undo just to please the hierarchy. They can even kill their own parents and even children, torture them just to please those in power, those sending them. And these are the group that we are condemning and calling on them to change their mentality positively. Look at the suffering. The police in Cameroon, they are not having special market where they are going. They are still going to the very market that the common people are going there and facing the same high standard of living. While the top government officials, they are enjoying. They are ordering their food stuff from abroad. The police and the military, they are still going to the hospital we are going to, and they still pay bills. They are not benefiting from anything from the tax, from the national cake, but the government, out of corruption, manipulating them, using them against the common people. We are all suffering. As they are flying from one plane or helicopter from one region to another, you are using the normal transport vehicles, passing through the worst route that they cannot use. But they will send you to do whatsoever they. They can never stay in the forest or in the village for one day, but they are sending you to go into the forest, even the evil forest, to fight your own brothers and sisters. This is the thing. They are planning, sitting in Yaoundé, already planning how they will fight Cameroonians who will stand up against the regime in 2025, but they will not go out of Yaoundé. They will send you. Why should you go? Is the question we are asking. Because you people have the power. If people unite together, that all the common police and the common military all over Cameroon will stand up one day, there will be no way. But the whole issue is that majority are there for the CPTM. Majority, they selected them for that particular mission. And how can we change their mentality so that they can reason like us? That is the question. I don't know the answer. But people are aware. People know what to do. And those are the people that Mr. Atanga Nji is afraid of. The government of President Bobia is afraid of. non-governmental organization, civil society leaders, some political parties leaders, and religious body. They mentioned religious body. I was surprised because I keep on saying that one powerful tool that Cameroonians can use there in order to be out, to be free from the hands of the CPDM is the church. 80% of Cameroonians are Christian. Just the Catholic Church alone is more than the government of Cameroon. Because when they touch the Catholic Church, they are talking a whole country called Vatican. And they will be answerable to directly. Touching the Catholic Church there is no way you can cover it the way they have covered the Anglophone crisis. And that is what I keep on calling them. That if they can stand up one day and say no to the President Paul Biya because they are aware of the maltreatment going on in Cameroon, President Paul Biya will sit up. So the videos today was just to talk about this issue and the warning that Mr. Atanga Nji sent outside. Because this is a threat, struggling by all women to quiet and silence those who are trying to stop the CBDM from taking power again in 2025. They are doing it, and they will do it if people stop talking. And we are praying that as we are talking, the police and the military should also help us so that we can liberate ourselves. If tomorrow Cameroon is a developed country, you police and the military, you also will enjoy from it. You will enjoy from it. If tomorrow all Cameroonians are living, their living standard is high, you also will enjoy from it. We should not allow Cameroon in the hands of just 5% people who are maltreating us. They took away 95% of the taxpayer money, 95% of the national cake, divide it amongst themselves. They are living in security. They are living in luxury. When we are crying, they are not crying because they are not feeling anything. That is why you heard this Senator Mbela Mokichas in the Senate talk about if the children or relatives of the Minister of Transport have ever involved in an accident and they are not feeling everything, all what we are crying of. If one day one of them maybe have the effect of the Anglophone crisis deep, they will stop it today. They will stop it today. If one day the children of President Paul Biya or ministers or some kind of top people in Cameroon involved in deathly road accident, they will do it. They will do it. The money they are embezzling, the money they are putting in their pocket, just because of rent, because of bills, because of this, why Cameroonians are suffering. You saw what happened, I think it was around August or July or August, where the government of Cameroon was owing 158 billion francs of electricity that they have not paid. From government institution, not from the house, because they don't, that one is no-go area. But the NGO did not cut electricity from government offices, but they decided to punish the common people and cut electricity. Why? Because the president gave an instruction that if they must cut, they should cut. But in a whole city, they cut in the city of Douala, Bamenda, and many other places. Why the presidency or the ministry and their houses, they were having constant electricity. But Cameroonians who were involved in a business that involved in need electricity, and many of them went bankrupt and below poverty line and remain there, maybe never to rise again. But the government officials, they are enjoying it. And they collected that money still from the common people to pay in NGO. This is Cameroon we are talking about. And those who to help are Cameroonians. We are the people to help. We should not allow our country in the hands of notorious criminals. That is my cry. That is what I keep on talking about this issue. The only solution in Cameroon, because TFA talking point is all about proposing lasting solution to societal problem. The only solution in Cameroon is for CPDM to go, to disappear. How can CPDM disappear? Where those supporting the CPDM are uncles who are paying our school fees, uncle in our family or relatives who are helping us. They are threatening us. If you do not vote for CPDM, I'm not going to pay your children whose school fee. Deny them this year and survive for the rest of your life. They are the one putting you below poverty line so that you keep on depending on them. If you say no to those uncles today, to those elites in your village today, to those top businessmen in your village today, those politicians in your village today, they will go bankrupt and you will rise. That is the only truth about this whole issue. So we should not look at all the threats that Atanga Nji and President Paul Biya are giving to against us come 2025. 2025 will be peaceful because we are going to remove the CBDN in a very peaceful way, in a way that they will not understand. The way Syria has been fighting for all these years. But suddenly, something happened that they did not even fight hard. But the president escaped. I don't know where President Paul Biya will seek asylum. I don't. But if care is not taken, he also might not have the chance to escape. And even if he escaped, Atanga Nji will not escape. Ministers will not escape. All those who have been there, traditional rulers, pampering President Paul Biya to cover their evil, they will not escape. And that is why some are still suffering in Syria today because they were happy. But the minute the president escaped only with his immediate family, allow all those ministers, all those police and military who were supporting him there to face the judgment. And they are facing them every blessed day. But they don't want to show to us. But if you go detailing into news, you will see it. If you are following some news, CNN, there are some that they will put and delete immediately. But most things are happening in Syria against those top military officials who were helping Assad in power. So that is something that they are afraid of. But they will face it because they have been so much. 42 years is not 42 days. But we have to stop it. Thank you very much for being with me up to this point as we talk about this. If possible, we are going to come live tomorrow again. Thank you for liking. Thank you for following us.